Hey, Pastor Mark Conforti here with another Cheerwine Chat. I grabbed a Cheerwine. How about you grab one too? In this episode, I'd like to share with you a little bit about visioning for the future, thinking about worship. But first, I want to talk to you about one of the great missions of First United Methodist Church. So, grab a Cheerwine and let's chat. Camp Discovery is one of the greatest things to ever come out of First United Methodist Church. You ought to be excited that in the summer of 2021, Camp Discovery will continue. Of course, last year we had to hold off because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But thanks to Bailey Weisensell and our group of excellent leaders, we're confident that Camp Discovery can happen in a safe way once again at Mount Shepherd Retreat Center. It's going to be a little bit smaller scale to ensure physical distancing, but we are already receiving applications for prospective campers. Mentors are applying, wanting to serve for a week with these campers, and we're so confident that this will be another meaningful time of sharing the love of God with children in Rowan County, and you can be a part of it. If you're interested in being a resource person, helping out in any sort of way where you can roll up your sleeves and actually be on site at the camp, please contact us at the church office. In the meantime, I want you to know about the upcoming Your Way 5K. The Camp Discovery Virtual 5K is May 1st through the 8th. $30 to register, and this includes a 5K shirt and a bib to add to your collection. Check out the link below where you can click to sign up. Share that link with others so they can participate too. They don't even need to live in Salisbury to participate. You could walk, run, ride your bike anytime between May 1st and May 8th. We want you to participate and be a part of the preparations of what we know will be another excellent week of Camp Discovery. Without vision, the people perish. That's biblical wisdom from thousands of years ago that is absolutely applicable for us today. Especially true in the life of the church. We need vision, clarity, a picture looking ahead that gives us a sense of what our next steps are. I have learned that God has a way of providing the vision to many people. Not just one singular person, but many people. And it's incumbent upon the people of God to be in prayer and conversation with one another so that we can talk and listen and figure out together what our next steps are, what the vision will be. Last year, we started a visioning effort. Because of the pandemic, we needed to pause it, but in recent months, we've been resuming it. I want to tell you about what the next steps are going to be for this. Several church leaders are going to be leading visioning discussions. These are small group conversations. If you would like to be a part of one of these, let me know, and I will be glad to put you in touch with one of these discussion groups. All of them are going to, of course, be saturated in prayer, but they're going to be focused using a process called appreciative inquiry. Appreciative inquiry says, let's look at what gives life. Let's find what's positive. Let's figure out where we are growing and healthy. And let's imagine together what will happen if more of that keeps going. It's not about looking back at a couple decades ago and diagnosing what went wrong. It's not about looking back at some glorious moment and trying to replicate what we perceive to be a golden era. Because God is calling us to move forward in faith. We need to be in prayerful discussion together. Again, where do we find signs of life? Where is there energy? Where is there health? Where is there growth? And let's imagine what it would look like if we keep on doing these things. Again, for us to have a clear picture for the vision of our church, we need many people to come together And if you sense that God is calling you to be a part of that conversation, let me know, because I would love to be in touch with you more. After these discussion groups meet, then in May, I'm going to meet with the discussion group leaders. And together we will look through the notes of the discussion groups and try to cull the themes, the ideas that we are sensing moving amongst the people, what's bubbling up to the top. And that's where we're going to place a priority. So those are the next immediate steps in our church's visioning process. So look for more to come later in the summer. Worship is at the very heart of who we are as God's people. Worship reminds us of who God is, reminds us of who we are. And in the process, something dynamic happens. It's the Holy Spirit's work of sanctification within us, perfecting us in God's love, making us more ready to serve faithfully in God's world. We take worship very seriously here at First United Methodist Church, but also with great joy. The pattern of Christian worship follows 4 steps. The first, we gather in from the world. Second, we encounter God's holy word. Third, we respond faithfully. And then fourth, we depart into the world to serve. Over the past several months, as you well know, we have needed to adapt in many ways in order to worship God, to provide opportunities for you and for others to worship God. And I am so thankful for all of the church leaders who have contributed to help make that happen. I'm thankful to our church staff, the ushers, the greeters, Altar Guild, for our reentry task force. It's been a marvelous group effort figuring this out. To remind you, just over the past few weeks, we had some amazing joys to celebrate. During Holy Week, we had Maundy, Thursday worship. It was experienced either out on the lawn as a Vesper service, or we had an online worshiping opportunity. On Good Friday, we had another online worshiping opportunity. And then on Easter Day, we had 4 in-person worship services on the church lawn, remembering when Mary Magdalene encountered the risen Lord in a garden. And online worship on Easter Day as well. And all of this provided for us great energy moving forward to April 11th, the first day that we had in-person worship in the sanctuary. We were hoping to have 125 worshipers. How did we come to that number? Well, the advisory from the bishop said, let's aim for 1/3 of your sanctuary's capacity. So we took that number 125, added on top of that the number of people who are serving behind the scenes, and then we also wanted to leave a little bit of wiggle room in case we have some visitors, people who show up unexpected, and that would give us about 1/3. Well, guess what? April 11th, 125 people signed up and were present for worship. And I heard such marvelous pieces of feedback about how moving the worship experience was, how great it was to be in the sanctuary with other people. One person emailed me back Sunday afternoon saying how enthusiastic he feels about his wonderful church. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for our community. Well, something else also happened on April 11th. We took a new approach to our online worship offering. Instead of having a pre-recorded service where the elements were edited and then uploaded to YouTube, we had a live stream. Now, we've been learning so much about online worshiping opportunities, about how long people are engaged. After all, one person's attention span may not be as long as they care to admit. We've also learned that some of the traditional elements within the sanctuary that we love don't necessarily translate to what you experience on the screen. And so, like so many other churches, we're trying to figure out how can we both connect with people in person and through online worship. Here's the other part too. we need to recognize that the online worshiping opportunity is going to be one of the front doors of the church. That is, when somebody is interested in checking out First United Methodist Church, they will likely worship with us online before coming in person. Now, for those of us who grew up in a time when you remember if someone moved into town, the first thing they would do is get the yellow pages, open it up, figure out which churches are present, and maybe read the little ad, make a phone call, see what time to show. No, those days are gone. People are going to find out about us, not just because of our online presence, but people are going to find out about us through your presence. And that's something that we should never, ever forget. The way that you are invitational, the way that you are kind and loving, considerate, compassionate, the way that you express God's love through your acts of loving kindness, that is what's going to really make an impact on people. And then as they get to know you, they're going to say, hey, I'm curious, do you go to church somewhere here in Salisbury? And you can say, yeah, absolutely I do, and would love for you to come with me sometime, would love for you to check us out online. More than likely, if they're enthusiastic about following up, they're going to first go online. We're hopeful that our online worship offerings, along with other resources, will be engaging so that people can connect with the ministry of this church. We are experimenting, we are figuring out, and we are praying for God's wisdom and guidance along the way. I would love to know your insights, your ideas, as we figure out together how to worship God in this new and exciting time. I believe this is a really terrific time for us to be the church. It's an inspiring, sacred moment, and we can't let it pass us by. We need to seize the opportunity to worship God in spirit and truth and offer others the chance to do it as well. Well, I've got a little bit of cheerwine left. I'll save it for later, but it's time for me to go. In closing, I want to share with you a passage that has recently been included in the story readings, Philippians chapter 4, verse 4. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say, rejoice. I think this is an encouraging word from the Bible for us because we have so many reasons to rejoice. Just keep looking, keep listening, keep discovering ways that God is active within your life. See you next time.